Welcome back to the Free Spirit Tarot. I am Poetry. You are here for our continued journey through the 78 cards of the tarot deck. We're going through the RWS system. I don't believe I've ever said that before, but I'm using different cards that show more modernized images than the original deck. The whole purpose of this journey is for you to get an understanding of how I read the tarot cards intuitively, since I do not use the guidebooks as much. I kind of use the guidebooks as a helpmate if I need those and have like a complete blank understanding of what I'm looking at in the image. Or if you yourself want to do an intuitive reading, or you're looking to tap into your own intuition, you can see how somebody else does it, and that may give you some ideas to help you along your pathway as well. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Do all the stuff that YouTubers tell you to do, just so I can help build my community around here, and you can see more videos of this. Again, we're going through all 78 cards, and we're on card number 12 right now, the Hanged Man. You can go through my end screens, or there may be info cards at the top of the videos that can help you walk through other videos that are available on my channel. We do several different things around here, but right now I'm kind of sticking to this series more than not. So, the Hanged Man is a card that I believe that the guidebook definitions are very contradictory to the term the hangman for me. With the hangman, most guidebook definitions are stating that this is considered to be a voluntary surrender, or that you see things from a perspective so differently that you become enlightened. And I do see some of the images here in front of me that possibly suggest that. But as I explained in my last video, intuition, what that is basically using your own brain and taking the information that you're seeing and using patterns that you have learned or have experienced in life and relate them to what's being shown before you. And I personally have never thought that a hanged person was a voluntary surrender. Now, someone being upside down hanging, I can see that as seeing things from a different perspective, trying to find some clarity, because as children, a lot of us played on the monkey bars. And we would go and we'll hang upside down, or we'll climb a tree and we'll hang upside down intentionally, or like this one here, they're along the cliffside and they will hang. But sometimes, like when we were children, we were hanging upside down. I even do this off the side of the bed sometimes, and just let all the blood rush to my head. It gives me some type of clarity. I can see that, right? But when the images here are presented in front of me, and I think about what the hangman means to me as far as my experiences and the patterns that I recognize, I don't get a voluntary surrender at all. I get pained. I get tortured. I get anguish. Yeah, I don't get a voluntary surrender. But I could see why voluntary surrender could be suggested. Okay, so this deck here is the Tarot Nefertari, and I wanted to bring this particular deck back because this is one of the first decks that I've seen that I believe that this card is representing the torture and the pain and the anguish that the hanged man suggests. This person is being grabbed by their hair. So they're being pulled up from the ground by their hair. They're not technically hanging off of trees or cliff sides like the rest of these cards here, but they are being suspended by their own hair. And it's not something they're voluntarily doing. It's not a choice. Okay. This person is the subject of someone else's control. They are possibly being tortured. They are being forced into submission. That's normally what I would relate to the hangman. Because even when you think about them hanging, black people hanging, they normally burn witches, but sometimes they would hang them as well. That wasn't because of something that we were voluntarily stepping up for, like as a tribute. But let's go ahead and get to these cards. Just take a brief look at them and see how I can see where they're trying to go that route, but I just don't personally agree with it. This particular hangman here, I love this from the Cosmic Cycles Tarot because this hangman is not upside down. They have, I guess, taken themselves out along the rock's edge, the rock climber, or what have you, um, or they are being suspended from the cliff from which they've already climbed, and they are just taking in the beauty of what's around them. This particular card, I definitely see trying to find a sense of clarity, getting a different perspective, surrendering to the moment. I definitely see that as well. I see that so clearly. Um, yeah, suspending belief, trusting in yourself, just having pure faith. Those are things that I see when I look at this particular card. There's a sense of serenity there. They even decided to take a smoke, which is also throws me off. But it's people that's really athletic that when I see them smoke, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But sometimes I hear that cigarettes can ease people's mind, put them at ease, make them relaxed, or just like when somebody has a baby, they will smoke a cigar to celebrate that accomplishment. And it may be very well a cigar. They made it to the top of whatever challenge that they were trying to accomplish. They've completed it and they're celebrating. This hangman here, um, from the Everyday Witch Tarot, kind of holds like, ever since I saw it, I used this card actually appear in the Naya Rivera drowning reading. So when I see it now, I kind of automatically associate that with being trapped, being bound, being caught up by something. This person here is not even hanging from the tree. This person seems to have a broom, which brooms are supposed to be very magical in the Wiccan community. And so they're suspended by this broom. Now, they do have their feet chained to the broom itself so they don't fall off. They also have chains around their wrist, okay? Which suggests to me that somebody else assisted them with being chained up, almost like Houdini act when they have to escape from, whatever chain, whatever is binding the magician. That's what this is giving me here. Because this person has a key in their hand, which is going to allow them to break free. However, the only way to break free at this particular point is to start with the feet. Once they release their feet, it's very possible they will fall and bump their head. But this person, it seems, is just enjoying the moment. They have their eyes closed. It looks like they had rope burns around the neck there. That's what that looked like to be, like rope burns were around his neck, underneath his chin. But yeah, this person is definitely in suspended belief. I do believe that this is definitely a voluntary surrender, because because they have the key in their hand. Someone helped them get into this position. It doesn't look like they were up for a fight. They're like they are attempting to reach a higher stage of enlightenment. Because again, they're not hanging from these trees at all. They're just suspended in air. This particular hangman here is very freaking confusing to me. I do show that they by the glow around their head, they're supposed to be representing enlightenment here. This person is tied on by one foot. The other foot is tied to the knee, but it looks like that's all they gotta do is slip the heel out. The mouse here has the key. The only thing that the key is applicable to is the heart with the keyhole in his sweatshirt. He doesn't have any locks holding him together on this rope. He is chained to this tree, or he is tied to this tree. The tree itself, I believe, may be a dead tree, because usually they say when ivy grows along a tree like that, the tree is dying. Because it's not somebody didn't cut the grass. You can see the grass is well maintained. There's a spider web on here. He might be getting caught up in his own, caught up in oneself, being very self-centered. This is another way that I see this person here. They have the crow or the raven. I can't tell which one it is because his tail is chopped off. But yeah, the crow raven usually is somebody that helps navigate through a situation. This person's eyes are very much open, unlike this person here, the hangman. The eyes are closed. This person's eyes are very much open. So this is showing to me that they are trying to show that it's representative of being enlightened and having an epiphany moment, you know. This one here I find to be a very intriguing card. This was from the Good Fortune Tarot. This is from the Spellcasters Tarot. This hangman, I'm not sure if people realize that this person actually is not hanging, or if he is hanging, he's already in hell. He's in the underground. He's in the underworld. They're very much bound. And you would think, oh, they can just get out of those buckles with ease. Yes, they can get out of those buckles with ease. But this person's head has no buckles. It seems like there's a metal band that has strapped them in, locked them in. This person is trapped. There is no way out. That this is not a surrender to me. This is that their life force has been taken. They are not in control of the situation. So even if they lose themselves from this buckle, if they got themselves out of this garb, which I don't understand how they would, being that they would need to bend down, and their head is locking them in that position. And the reason why I'm saying that this is the underworld, because if you look closely, you can see this tree is upside down. Where the branches and the leaves are, that's the top of the tree. Right here is the roots of the tree. And this person is attached to the roots of the tree. It suggests to me that maybe this person might be underwater, they may be floating up, but this person has already surrendered and surrendered their will. They have possibly already passed away. Also, is what I'm seeing here. This is the north side of the tree where you see the moss growing. It's a bit of daylight and or fire. Okay, and this is the darkness, the night. This part of the tree seems to be more lively than this part of the tree, which is when I suggested this was fire, that they could possibly be entering the depths of hell. But this is definitely, if you think about where the roots of the tree are, and this, if they are hanging from the roots of the tree upside down, they've already gone into the underworld, or to the, so darkness is holding them there. They are trapped in whatever um they're working on, whatever they're trying to do. They can't get out. They can't even see a way out. If you see, the straps are even covered up where the person's eyes would be. This person's eyes open, this person's eyes closed. All they had to do was open it. This person can't. They can't even see another way. This hangman here definitely is saying that they are enlightened, honey. They have the enlightenment going on. They seem to be at ease. They seem to be relaxed. This to me looks like a voluntary surrender. This person is bound to the tree. but only by one leg. This other leg is not attached to anything. We are not clear if the arms are bound behind his back. We just know they're behind his back. He could just be keeping his balance, trying to be stable. Again, his eyes are closed, so his enlightenment is supposed to be coming from a different perspective and seeing things a different way, but his eyes are closed in his enlightenment. Unlike this one with the enlightenment, his eyes are open, so he's definitely seeing things from a different perspective. This person has the guardian angels about, to be there for them when they are in a time of trouble or a time of need. The guardian angel is going to make sure that they don't fall down and bump their head. The guardian angel is going to help order their steps. Because there's also a beam of light coming from the heavens above, which could also be a suggestion that this person has gone on, ascended to a different place, or they are about to ascend to a different place with the help of the angels. Not necessarily somebody that is dead, but it could represent somebody that has already gone on. They've gone into the afterlife. Like this one, I said, I believe somebody has already gone on, but I see them going into the darker side, or they may be suspended between life and death. This person is ascending into light, into heavens above, into an enlightened part of themselves. This is the only person that I see that, has a key to undo whatever and let go whenever they choose to. Okay. And this is the only one I truly see is like just really soaked it all in, finding a place of seclusion, not solidarity, just solidarity, being a lone child. Yes. And to say this original Terra Nefertari is the only one I see that is forced surrender, forced control. This person even looks like they may be begging. And this falcon is trying to extend the olive branch there. Like I said, the last time, when I did reading, I did a reading. I had this card turn up. I actually have never done a reading in all of my years of doing tarot card readings. Have any of these cards ever popped up for me? I do not recall. Put it that way, I do not recall getting the Hangman in any reading except for the one that dealt with Naya Rivera's death, which I stated that she was bound and trapped under the water, and that's was this card here that appeared. And it so happened that she was said to be had bound, caught up in some vegetation in the water. Um, both of these situations could happen in very mountainous areas. I mean, not very mountainous areas, but by bodies of water. This particularly in a mountainous area. I don't know. I see the Midwest here. This one I definitely see undersea, and this one I just see as not even in this current lifetime. This is something that is beyond life itself right now. That's what I see here. And this is what I got for the Hangman for you. Um, Not much that really comes out of this for me as far as this card is concerned. It's not something that I have really had to deal with. Again, very, very, I can only think of one time. I probably have to look through all my videos. I can only think of one time when the hangman has appeared for me that I can recall. I usually recall majority of the reads that I do, and I don't recall any other time that the hangman has appeared. And if it did, was I stumped? Or did I just go ahead and pull out the guidebook and say, okay, this is what the guidebook means? You know what? Let me see what the guidebook says about the Good Fortune Tarot one. Let's see what it says. The Hangman, card number 12. All right. Do I need to back out here? Hangman. The person is unable to act. Whether the situation, there is no clear action for the querent. In fact, they are likely unable to do anything, which I call bullshit on that with this particular card. Slip your damn foot out. The damn rat can nibble the damn ropes, but this right here, you can slip your foot out. We don't even know if this person's hand is bound behind their back. But if this is something that they're unable to do, then what's the purpose of the enlightened halo around their head? Okay, anyway, they are advised to stay calm and observe the world from someone else's point of view. Nothing the querent can do will help resolve the situation. This is a time to watch and learn. I got the card right here. This is the damn card. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. This person has options and choices. This person could bend up at the waistline and lose their own doggone leg. Because again, we don't know if the hands are actually bound behind the person's back. Okay. Activating the good fortune in this card wouldn't be easy. Notice the legs in the figure 4 shape. Okay. Notice. We've seen this before with the Emperor. The stability and control of the 4 is the Emperor's strength. The older meaning of this card is martyr. In fact, the hangman martyrs their stability and control, rather like Odin in exchange for divine wisdom. Now, I know that they have a yoga pose that's something like this. When you're standing, what is it called? You do the praying hands and you stand there with one foot on your knee like that. You hold that pose. Okay. During enforced timeouts, we can gain more than expected simply by letting go. Let it all go. Our need to respond, our desire to control, our attachment to outcome, all of it. Once the baggage is jettisoned, there is space for first peace. Breathe that in for a minute or two. Next, in all that silence, the voice of the soul or divine or whoever we need to hear from can finally be heard. We are assured that in doing so, we receive a message that will open our heart and possibly cause our heads to glow. Bullshit. I'm sorry, Barbara Moore and Jessica Rue. Yeah, that's a bunch of malarkey. That was just somebody that knows how to write, that wants to just write a good tale for this image that for me doesn't hit the nail on the head. Yeah. And usually with this card here, when they always talking about um, you're seeing things from another person's perspective, what exactly is you trying to see? And no time in any of these images, with the exception of this one here, is this hangman looking out at anything. The imagery is always behind the hangman, with the exception of this card. These two people, they're not even looking. These three, they're not even looking at all. So how are you seeing something from a different point of view with your eyes closed? In this pose right here, I understand it's the figure 4, is what they calling it, but I don't see how that's giving him any more strength. There's the figure 4 pose here too. This right here is the most stable position I think he could be in. And this person is harnessed in, but I know I'm scary, so I'm not gonna trust that up there. But then this one is being held up by a damn broomstick, so. Anyway, child, that's all I got for the hangman. There's nothing really spectacular about it that I can really say. We're just gonna keep moving on through this journey. Okay. Next up is one of my favorite cards, and that's the death card. See you in the next video. Peace.